Good morning, and welcome to another Memphis Monday. My friend needs a computer desk, and I told him that I'd build it. And he's going to buy the wood, and I'm going to design and build the desk. So today, our Memphis Monday is Memphis Monday 79 computer desk, and we'll check when we're complete. But we're not going to check nothing unless we knock off the chit chat and get to work. Okay, I've already put together the table jig and cut out the stock for the table. The best way to understand this is that it's basically two small tables, and a small table at this end with about 24 inches of plywood. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and process
Here's the actual tabletop. I just rounded over the edges.
There's a table jig over there, and there's all the frame pieces. Let's put it all together. Now you may remember from other tables we built that those little blocks there in a table jig, those are stand-ins cut to the exact same dimensions as the legs. So when I assemble the frame and take the table jig off, there'll be spaces in here to put the legs. Got the frame pieces in there as you saw. In addition to the corner blocks that I'm using to hold the legs on, in the drawer section here, I'm putting these little corner blocks in. I don't know if they're needed. But I got all the screws in. And you saw me fussing about making sure that everything was square. And you're going to find out why in just a minute, but this is 24 inches. And so this has to be 24 inches from here to here and 24 inches from here to here. So they're exactly parallel because I'd be putting a drawer in here. Over here, this is 9 3/16, and these legs have to be exactly 9 3/16 apart. They have to have the same dimensions because I'm going to be putting shelves between the legs. And down here, this is 16 3/16. This one happens to be off a 32nd, but we can live with that. And those measurements are critical because we're going to be putting two file drawers between the legs. Okay, let's take the jig off and see if the legs fit in the table jig we took off. Came off pretty easy. Maybe we'll get some excitement on this one. Seems pretty tight. Oh no, there it came. No excitement. I'm just standing the stock for the legs up, on the frame so that I can show you the next
there
operation.
you can kind of see the legs. You notice the legs are farther apart there on the right, and then they're narrower left. They're 9 inches apart on the right and 16 inches apart on the left. Let's look at the drawing.
Okay, on the drawing here, you can see what we're talking about. Not a very good drawing, but I'm going to put wooden braces across between those legs, and they're going to be sitting in dadoes. And then the drawer slides will attach those wooden braces. The file drawers themselves will be cabinet grade oak, and they'll be exposed and finished. Same with the other side. I've never seen this done before, but that's what we're going to do. Rest out with a chisel. Now, this is pine. The oak's not going to work this easy, but
Decide
it's
to
the same
just go
idea.
for it.
Well, let's see if we can chip this bad boy out without wrecking something. This is a size board I got to get it in there. Well, if it fits, it's going to be tight. Did you know you could do that? Let's see if this thing fits in there now. Perfect. I just want you to see how fast this goes. What has it been, 10 seconds? I've been really dreading cutting these 3/4 inch dadoes in this oak using a stacked dado head cutter. I'm sure I'm glad I found this technique here. I can show you the scam. The legs will go in like that in a traditional way, and then I'll have a board like this one, only better, that will be attached to those slots like that, and then the drawer slides will be attached just like this. Here all the notches are done. This is on the file cabinet side, and over here is on the shelf side. Okay, next operation is to taper the legs. Let's figure out how to do that. I got it set up to taper two sides. I've got them marked here with this green pencil. It'll be tapering from 2 1/4. It'll taper from 2 1/4 at the big end down to just under 1.5 inches at the far end. Let's give it a try.
Now you can see why I had to put that mortar in before I tapered it, because otherwise that brace wouldn't. Well, they're all tapered. Now I need to run them through the router, sand them down, and install the hanger bolt that'll connect them to the frame. I'll finish the sanding, and then we'll install this bad boy. Okay, I'll do that for everything I showed you on this leg. I'll do for the other 7, and we'll put all the legs on. Legs in place. What I'm doing now is positioning the braces that will hold the drawer slides. The drawer slides will go under just like that. I've not got the drawer slide runners or the drawer slide braces in. But before we install, make any cabinets, we gotta know how big to make them, and that measurement is pretty precise. So I'm going to install these drawer slides, and then I'll measure between the 2 drawer slides and get the exact measurement. And just like I always do, I cut a piece of remnant that's exactly the right size to fit between those. I know that the bottom of the drawer is 38.5 centimeters. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finish this box here, and then I'm going to install it before I make the other one. I want to make sure, in case I got tricked some way, I'll find the mistake. Okay, it seems to fit perfect in the opening. What I'm going to do here is mark exactly where I want to install the drawer guide on the now here's a very cabinet. Subtle thing, but if I hadn't seen it, I'd have had problems. These sliders are recessed. If I pull that thing out and then I push it in, it doesn't stop even with this metal part here. It clicks back 1/8 of an inch. So I got to make sure that I install the drawer part of the slider 1/8 of an inch back from the edge of the front side. Okay, here's a close-up. We're talking about recessing that. In order for this face front here to be right up against the leg, I had to recess that little the slider back 1/8 of an inch. Here's a real good view of it. You can see the slider is recessed back from the front by 1/8 of an inch, and I was kind of lucky in terms of measuring because the ply there is 1/8 of an inch, so I just set it up right at the ply. Okay, let's make the other box and get excited. This is what you're looking for. You want this the
to be exactly level across the front. Let's try some 2-inch brads. Now remember, these brads are only to hold it temporarily until I screw it on with screws. Now I can get away with putting those brads in there because when I put the drawer pull on there, it's going to cover up those brad holes. Those are just handles to give it a nice little touch. They're not too fancy, not too plain. But we're done with the file drawers. Let's work on the next thing, which is the little platform for the I ran my CPU test dado setup. There's the dado, and this is the stock right here that I'll be using for the shelf, and then that dado will fit right over that. Well, here's a dry fit up of the shelf. Seems to fit in there okay. This is nail it together. The shelf is going to look like from the top. Of course, we're to be installing it upside down. And I'll hold our little platform here. I'll hold it onto the legs with just regular screws. Definitely drum roll time. We're making the little under desk drawer here. I can put that drawer front on with this thing on its legs. Let's see if we can take this thing off here. This is one of those times when the job is actually easier off the bench. Almost always, it's easier to do anything on the bench. Well, there we have it, our computer desk. %100% oak. Except for that drawer, right? That center drawer's got poplar in it. This is poplar. It's the cabinet file drawers are all open. Got this little shelf here for the CPU. No fasteners showing, which is always nice. 100% pull-out drawers. 75-pound test on the drawers. Alrighty, well, that'll do it for another Memphis Monday. Thanks for playing along, and I hope you enjoyed the project. I know we had a lot to do. We had a lot of procedures. We had design. We had mortises to do, and legs to taper, and drawers to make, and we just had it all this time. But I don't like two-part videos, so I crammed it all in this one. But anyway, like and favorite and share and comment, and what else? I remember. Make sure you're back here next week for another exciting Memphis Monday.